Good morning. Thank you all so much for joining us on this rather wet day. And I know it's hard to believe, but even on this day with minimal light, those solar panels are still collecting. But you'll hear a little bit more about that later. First of all, I'd like to take the opportunity to introduce all of our wonderful supporters who are here today. Please raise your hand. I'll start with our New York State Assemblyman, Mike Kusick, who's here. There's Mike in the back. New York State Assemblywoman Nicole Maliakakis. New York City Councilmember Jim Otto. From U.S. Congressman Mike Grimm's office, Bill Smith. Chief of Staff, as well as Senior Staff Director. The Office of New York State Senator Diane Stavino, Mike Artavinides, Deputy Chief of Chief Operations, and see Mike. Thank you. We have from the Office of the Borough President, Michael Bryanstedt, member of the JCC, Assistant Counsel, Nick Dietrichson, I hope I did your name service, environmental engineer. From New York City Parks, good friend, Dina Long, Staten Island Borough Commissioner, hi Dina. From Borough, New York City, Mike Reiser, Staten Island Recycling Outreach Coordinator. We also have Brian Powers here from Senator Andrew Lanza's office. We have Jason Brzezinski here, also from the Borough President's office. Thanks, Jason. Also a member of the JCC. And Robert Matthews, also from the Borough President's office. So thanks to all of our elected officials for being here. In addition to that, and in this process of this kind of an event, it takes a lot of people to build a village, as they say. From SIEDC, Steve Grillo is here, Program Manager, very involved in greening. We'll be talking about that a little bit. His title is Environmental Sustainability and Location Advisory Services Director. From IBB Bank, our friends Paul Montero, thank you very much for being here. Staten Island Physicians Practice, Terry Ruzzetti, Director of Community Services, hi. And Greening Partners, we have Pratt Industries, Deirdre Liso, and from Brighton, USA, Gary Timlin. So thank you all for being here. I also want to mention, we actually have some people who know what they're doing in this kind of a project. We're very, very fortunate to have our project designers from Exotic Systems, Richard Klein, who's president, and Boggy, forgive me, Nachagarian, chief solar engineer. I'm sure I bogged up your name, but Richard will help us later. And from the Community Environmental Center, Richard Cherry, director. So thank you all for being here. In addition to that, on the JCC side, we have our president, Sue Saban. So hi, Sue. Her husband, David, thanks for being here. And certainly valued members of our board and staff. We'd just like to take a minute. Today we're celebrating the newest addition to our program of environmental sustainability, a system of solar panels which heats the hot water serving our building. Now, for those of you who participate here at the JCC, you know that people start taking showers at 5:45 in the morning, and those showers virtually don't go off until 11 o'clock at night. So a lot of hot water goes to the Jewish Community Center. But in addition to the hot waters, also we're also celebrating the JCC, our vigorous engagement and determination, not just to fight the fight, but to bequeath our children and our children's children with a planet refreshed and renewed with the ethic of stewardship to sustain it. The JCC is very proud to be among those organizations which are helping to build a sustainable future. The installation of the solar system is the largest of our energy savings and sustainability projects thus far, and represents a combined total investment of $225,000 for this project. Other projects include the engagement of a NYSERDA FlexTech audit, replacement of energy-efficient pumps and motors in the building, installation of lighting occupancy sensors, and lighting fixture replacements, just to name a few. As is the case for any quality project, it takes a cooperative effort to gain positive results. In the case of the thermal solar project, the project, as I mentioned before, was designed by Quixotic Systems with installation by Community Environment Center. I do have to say they were also involved in the Mental Health Society project, We haven't seen their building yet, because I'm not sure if it formally opened, but they were another partner in the not-for-profit community, also that is environmentally working on projects in the environmental area. The funding was made possible with support from NYSERDA, which is the New York City Energy and Research Association, from NYEDC, which is the New York City Economic Development Corporation. This new system produces about, and I know all of you are going to remember this information, about 3,139 therms a year, and we'll save close to $4,000 a year forever, in perpetuity. Most importantly, 25,500 pounds of CO2 emission will be avoided, which is equivalent to planting 2 acres of Douglas fir trees every single year. That really is the amazing number. Although this effort alone may seem like a good start, the JCC Board of Directors and staff have just begun in our efforts to improve the bottom line, that's very important for us, and to help build a sustainable environment. To date, we are taking the following major initiatives: to educate and engage our Board of Directors and staff in areas of greening, to install a sustainability officer, who we call our agency green coordinator, who's J.R. Rich. J.R., he'll raise your hand. He and his staff will be exploring and mobilizing and educating our members in our community towards energy efficiency, recycling of waste, and other practices that promote environmental sustainability. We're taking on the initiative to develop environmental programs in settings where community members are to learn, especially amongst our young people, to educate and support our elected officials, to press for appropriate environmental legislation, which is especially important here in New York, and to participate when nonprofits, businesses, and labor leaders come together to explore specific opportunities for exercising environmental stewardship. We have such a gathering here on Staten Island, okay? It is the SIEDC Green and Clean Conference. This will be the 2nd year. It's scheduled for March 8th. Steve Gorilla, Program Director of SIEDC, is here, and I'm sure he'll be happy to tell you about what's going on. But we really have a wonderful opportunity in this borough to talk about greening. There were close to 3,000 businesses and individuals who participated in last year's conference. I'm sure this year's will be even better. So thank you, SIEDC. While we're here today to celebrate a significant project, I'm also thrilled to tell you that we have been given the green light and have raised most of the funds for our next project. The installation of one of the largest photovoltaic, they call it PV, solar systems in New York City. The PV project is being designed also by Microsoft Systems and will cost close to $900,000. I am delighted to report that we have already received $530,000 from the Office of the Borough President, James Molinaro, $100,000 from our New York City delegation, including Jim Otto, Debbie Rose, Vincent Inizio, thank you very much. From NYSERDA, about $44,000. And just the other day, we received notice that we'll be receiving $100,000 from the Richmond County Savings Bank Foundation. So there's only a little bit more to go. We anticipate that the next solar project will be installed this summer. So very, very exciting things going on here. So I'm sure many of you know that it's so important on Staten Island to be connected to and involved with our elected officials. We're very, very lucky here. And we can't be more lucky than having some of the people we're representing today. And we're going to start with Michael Cusick, the New York State Assemblyman. So Mike.
Thank you. I want to thank David and the JCC for doing this, because it's a great thing for this building and for the folks who are here and use the JCC, but overall it's great for our community, for Staten Island. It's great for the state of New York, for an organization like the JCC to start a program like this and to have the solar panels in place and to set the standard for what I hope will be a long and distinguished line of groups that do something like this. And it's not only an investment in this building and an investment in the members here at the JCC, it's an investment in our entire community, making sure that our children, our future, are taken care of long after we're gone, This building will still be here, but that the future folks who use this building, the future folks who live on Staten Island are able to benefit by this great thing that's happening here today. David had mentioned, here this not-for-profit is doing this with the solar panels. He mentioned the project with the Mental Health Society that I was lucky enough and proud to help get funding for that on the state level. These are projects that I think not-for-profits, it takes courage and commitment to do, particularly in these times, these economic times where our not-for-profits are being hit with lack of funding, particularly with lack of discretionary funding, and to be able to go forward and do a program like this with the help of council members and Councilman Otto and SIEDC and other parts of this community, it just shows the commitment of our not-for-profits here on Staten Island. So I want to thank you for that, and I want to thank NYSERDA for following through with this project. The state has a commitment towards renewable energy, towards solar panels, towards any type of energy that we can move forward and minimize the carbon footprint. And it's important that the state sets that standard also. So I want to thank NYSERDA, I want to thank the Governor's Office and my colleagues in state government for making sure that projects like this don't end here at the JCC, that we can continue this throughout Staten Island, throughout the state, and I'm just proud that the JCC is setting the standard and will be the symbol for projects like this for the future. Thank you again.
Good friend of the JCC, thank you. I now like to introduce Councilman James Otto. He was the one politician willing to walk onto the roof.
Good morning, everybody. As Mike and Nicole will tell you, you get paranoid in this business, even if you're only in it for a short period of time. I'm sure Nicole has had some experiences. So when they tell you to come up to the roof, I've seen a couple of movies where the guy goes on the roof and he doesn't come back. Yeah. There's Mike Cusick this morning. I know he's not coming up. I actually have to head up to City Hall for a hearing now on the controversial living wage bill, which has lots of passion on both sides of the issue. So I'll be going from solar and hot water to a whole lot of hot air. Let me just say this. Everything about this building is just done the right way. We made a joke up on the roof that the running gag that we had when we opened this place was that if government had tried to build this building, we would be halfway done, $40 million over budget. And the JCC continues to get it right. That's why when there's some controversies about government money coming to institutions like this, I want to bang my head against the wall. But I want to thank all of you for the contributions you make to this community day in and day out. I come from a legislature that is made up of wonderful folks. They fall over themselves to demonstrate that they are greener than the next. I get it. We have one sweet world. I love it as much as the next guy. So when I had an opportunity to take a portion of the capital money that we get, and council members are fortunate we still get member items, unlike my poor friends on the state level. And they'll have to pry my member items from my cold dead hands. You know, we try to do the basics and fill in the gaps, and then you try to take a portion of the money and be creative. And I'm not sure if solar panels and solar energy is out of the box. I think it is mainstream, or should be mainstream. So it's not that big of a risk, but we want to be creative in my office, and we got $50,000 to put towards this, and we're proud to be a part of it. Again, thank you for continuing to do the right thing across the board. You have huge friends in all positions of government here in Staten Island, regardless of political affiliation. We're proud to be associated with you at every turn, and thank you for what you do.
Thank you very much. We've all had the opportunity to have to call a state agency or city agency, and sometimes we've had good and bad experiences with that. But I have to tell you that our friends at NYSERDA are terrific. As you can imagine, we were going through this project for the first time. It was a tremendous learning curve. And my friend Max Joel was there all along the way. He is from NYSERDA, Energy Smart Communities Coordinator. And anytime we picked up the phone, he was there at the other end and say, do this and do that, and help us move in the right direction. So Max, you can just come up for a moment and explain how this all works.
Good morning. I might not be the best person to explain exactly how it's on the roof works. There's some gentleman in the back from Quick Stock probably do that better than I can. But I do want to congratulate the JCC on this great accomplishment. NYSERDA was very happy to put approximately $80,000 into this project, and they clearly leveraged that money and run with it and taken it a far way. I also want to really thank the JCC, especially David Sorkin and J.R. Rich, for being such great advocates for NYSERDA. As you already heard from David, he spreads our praise everywhere and has really helped us, help a lot of other folks on NYSERDA just by the words of praise that he's given us. I also want to thank them for all the work they do just day to day on outreach to the Staten Island community, both on the environment side and just everything else that they do. It certainly makes my job a lot easier to have an institution like the JCC out there pushing the envelope, but also showing, helping show people how they can live green in their day-to-day life. So thank you again.
Thank you, man. I appreciate that. Last but not least, we have a very special relationship to an organization I think many of you heard of and know, called UJA Federation. UJA Federation, I believe, has been with the JCC probably for most of its 82 years. They are regular funders of the JCC. In fact, the JCC receives almost $1 million in funding from UJA Federation for various projects, making sure individuals with great need are served here at the Jewish Community Center, whether they be the frail elderly, special needs populations, or those who have need on any level. We're very, very fortunate to have them as partners. And a few years ago, they had a great insight to create a greening program. And we went to it not knowing very much. We went to it sort of a little naive. And when you go into it in the very, very beginning, you need to learn to meet somebody and an organization that really can help send you in the right direction. So it's my great opportunity and pleasure to introduce Rachel Jacoby Rosenfeld from UJA Federation, and she's the Greening Fellowship Director. And she'll tell you a little bit about that relationship, and we're very, very lucky to have UJA Federation supporting the JCC in many ways.
It's such an exciting day. I'm very proud to be a partner in this work. Less than 3 years ago, the Bernikow JCC in Staten Island and 19 other Jewish nonprofits in the New York area launched greening initiatives as part of the Jewish Greening Fellowship. The aim of the program is to support organizations in embracing environmental responsibility and to cultivate environmental change leadership. Today, it's clear that this agency has excelled on both counts. From a formidable staff green team to innovative environmental programming, including a wildly successful birthday fair, to generative community partnerships with a lot of people in this room, the JCC has distinguished itself as an environmental leader in Staten Island. None of this would have been possible without a deep commitment to the value of sustainability and a desire to leave a repaired world to the next generation. On behalf of the Jewish Greening Fellowship and UJA Federation of New York, I want to commend David Sorkin for his bold vision and inspiring leadership. And I want to congratulate J.R. Rich, Greening Coordinator, on his tireless work and and his deep passion for change and his tremendous ability to accomplish it effectively. Congratulations to the staff and the board of the JCC of Staten Island. It's indeed an honor to partner with you in this work.
So thank you, everyone. As was mentioned, Richard is here for any questions you may have. Hopefully, many other organizations on Staten Island will take up the torch. And we're always here with SIEPC because we work very, very closely together trying to educate the community and bringing information. Please come to the Greening Conference in March. If you don't know anything about it, it's a great way to start. And if you know everything about it, it's a great opportunity to share with other people. I know many of you will be there. Thank you all for coming. We'll be here again hopefully this summer to launch our next project, which will be, I think, 100 and some panels on the roof. I think there's about 25 now. Oh, I'm sorry. Richard tells me 350. See, as you can see, I'm really the administrator, executive director. These are the guys who know really what they're doing. They lead me in the right direction. So thank you all for coming on this very wet day. We appreciate it. Enjoy your Thanksgiving. Have a wonderful holiday.